Hey everyone, this is Ellie Mae with Silhouette Secrets Plus, and today I wanted to share an easy DIY busted canvas idea. This is a unique creation that anyone can do, and you can take it from simple to much more complex. So check out the links in the description below for the supplies that I used, as well as a written tutorial also. I am taking a framed canvas, and then I am using a decorative napkin, and you want to take apart the napkin, and you only need one ply, and then you're going to cover the backside with an even coating of Mod Podge. I'm just using the regular Mod Podge here, and then don't do what I did. You do not want to place the napkin face down. It's still going to work. I still kept going with this, so you can see that it does still turn out, but I realized that I put it on backwards. So you want the pattern facing up. It worked out just fine here. I just added another coat of the Mod Podge, but I wanted to leave that in there. We always make mistakes, all of us, no matter what we're doing, and I'm just playing with this and seeing what can happen. So I did find that using a squeegee helps to get that smooth and down onto the canvas. Then I'm using this new sparkle Mod Podge that I picked up and adding that to the backside. Now you can't really see it until it's dry, but this has glitter in it and it adds a little bit of sparkle to the project. Not all projects are going to need that sparkle, but here's a look at this one, and I think it does add to the finished project. Next, you want to make sure to measure your frame, the inside of the frame, and then I brought this into Silhouette Studio software and drew some rectangles so I knew what was going to show. I printed my background page, and then I took it back, and once this was dry, then I was able to start creating on the front. So you want to make sure that the Mod Podge is dry on the back side, and you can do all kinds of things to the front of this canvas. I wanted to do some painting. I'm not a painter whatsoever. I actually hate watching paint dry or waiting for projects to dry, and this is why it took me so long to get started with these busted canvases, because the dry time just eats at me. I always get busy doing something else. So I am just kind of playing around with this, and I want it to look like the background of the printed digital paper that I have there. And so I was just starting with different colors. I have a metallic blue that I wasn't quite sure if it was going to work out. And then I added some darker blue on top of that with a sponge. And I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just playing, and I'm just seeing what is possible, what it's going to turn out like. If it doesn't turn out, I can always just paint over the top of the entire thing, and I'm really not out anything except for the time that I have invested in this. And then once I did that, I wanted to take some lighter blue, and I'm going to mix in some water, and then so it makes it a little bit more fluid, and I'm adding some of those star textures. I am making a mess is what I'm really doing, and that's okay. I just kept going, and I keep telling myself with these projects that I am doing, just keep going. With mixed media, just keep going. With paper flowers, keep going until the end, and then set it aside, and you can come back to it and decide if you like it or if you want to modify it. I had some larger paint splatters there, so I just kind of took it in my paintbrush and made those into star shapes. Again, I'm just playing around, seeing what is possible, but I love the finished result of this. So when I first heard about the busted canvas and saw the first images, I kind of was like, what? Why? And then I saw my friend Stephanie, who created some really awesome ones, and I had to start collecting the stuff. The great part about this is that you can use the stuff you have in your craft stash. You don't have to really go out and buy anything except for maybe, a paper napkin that you really want. It took me all month of November to find some fall ones that I wanted to do for a fall busted canvas. But I mean, you can create with whatever you have available to you and in your stash. I have just basic craft acrylic paints and sponges and, paint brushes, and that's what I'm using. The only thing I really bought here was I needed more frames, and I needed the napkins because I just had it in my head. Here's a close-up look. The metallic blue paint is really hard to get on camera to show how really like shiny it is, but I love how this background turned out, and it kind of matches that printed background of the watercolor design by Click Chick Designs. I've had this in my favorites list and wanted to do something with it all season long, but I was waiting for that perfect project. Once I had that, so these are 8x10 frames, not quite letter size, so I just needed to cut it down to the size, and I already had got the dimensions right in Silhouette Studio. So I'm just basically making sure that I'm not cutting it too small. You want the edges over the frame part so that you have something to glue onto with the hot glue and hold that background, and then it gives it that dimension with the framed part of it. Now I also left this in here. I messed up. Do not glue your background down yet. But I left it in here because I messed up. However, I was simply able to remove that. It wasn't until right here that I actually realized what I did. So I then just peeled that back. It wasn't set too hard, and it was just on the edges, so it didn't even ruin my print, but I knew I could just go print it again if I needed to. You're going to take your sharp utility knife, and then you're going to just start from the center and cut out, and there is no measuring, there is nothing to it. You just cut straight lines back towards your frame. The longer your cut lines that you have, the deeper your curl is going to be. And once you have that complete, then you can glue your background down to the frame. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. I get so excited about it. But then when the first one I did, I actually rolled the front of the frame first before I put the backing on, and that was a little bit more tricky to add that backing to. So now, once you do it this way, you can actually watch it being revealed as you are curling those edges. And you're simply going to roll those back, and if you roll it back and kind of hold it and move it back and forth, it kind of trains it so that it'll hold it in place. Now, I do have that 2-ply napkin because I messed up on placing it correctly the first time, so that could have added a little bit to it, so mine's going to be a little bit stiffer, but you have that canvas and then the Mod Podge with the napkin on top of it, so it does have a form and a shape to it, so you can just kind of curl that back and hold it in place. I'm using the end of my paintbrush to hold the hot glue down until it is set, just so that I don't burn my fingers any more than I already did. And it comes along very easy. Anyone can do this. And then once you're finished, you can admire your artwork, and every single one can be unique and a great design no matter what supplies you are using. So there's all kinds of different things that you can do with this. Here's a quick look close up showing it as it's coming to the camera, and you can see some of the finer details of it. Make sure to check out the links in the description below for all of the supplies I used, as well as a written tutorial on the steps I took on how to create this. I hope that you will think about it, and even if you don't create it, maybe it'll give you some ideas for other creative projects as well. Let me know in the comments below if you've made a busted canvas or if you will be after seeing this. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.